Hello everyone, welcome to my channel Random Read, and today I'm here with another random book review, which is The Fault in Our Stars by John Green. So the first thing I want to say about this book is that this book, while reading it, gives you an indirect instruction of living every single day of your life fully and efficiently as though you are going to die next day. There are certain scenarios in this book which actually can make you think like that. The second thing, which is very obvious, is it is based on two characters, that is Hazel Grace Lancaster and Augustus Waters, but morely on Hazel Grace. So at the beginning, Hazel, who's quoting her lungs suck at being lungs, is very attached to a novel that is an imperial affliction, because of the reason that it understands the psychology of cancer survivors. Another thing at the beginning of the story is that she is very passive, very introvertish, like she doesn't socialize with anybody but except with her parents, obviously. But ultimately she goes to a support group and finally experiences the twist in her life, which is Augustus Waters. And so while Hazel is 16, Augustus is 17 years old. So at the age of 13, Hazel was diagnosed with thyroid cancer, that too at stage 4, and further with lung tumors, which at a point filled up her lungs with water. Whereas Augustus was suffering from osteosarcoma a year and a half ago, but then was declared NEC, that is no evidence of cancer, for 14 months. So the story sketch is like this, that they both meet in a support group, greeting each other with stares, or I should say by staring at each other. And at the same day they become friends, then further very good friends, and then finally fall for each other. So as when I said before that Hazel is attached to a novel that is an imperial affliction, the author of that book lives in Amsterdam, and Hazel has a wish to go to Amsterdam and ask the author a few questions about what happens after the book, or after the story, because that book ends very, very, very abruptly. Actually, it has a very abrupt ending. So her wish is fulfilled by Augustus Waters, and they fly to Amsterdam. So they go with Hazel's mother, obviously not alone. They do get their first day in Amsterdam to rest, to get rid of the jet lag. So when they go and meet the author, and Hazel tries to ask a few questions, they do face some unexpected things, or rather consequences. But I'm not going to reveal that. No, not at all. I'm not going to reveal what that is all about. No, not at all. But the day before they're departing, Augustus reveals something about himself to Hazel, which is very heartbreaking. Reading this in the book, it really seems like their lives are so unpredictable. Like wherever they go, whatever they do, they can die anytime. When I say anytime, I really mean it. Any hour, any minute, any second. Take for example in the book itself. Before going to Amsterdam, one night Hazel has this excruciatingly painful headache, and she obviously screams. Her parents come up in her bedroom and immediately take her to the hospital. So in that part, when she was scanned, it was found that there wasn't enough supply of oxygen in her brain. While Hazel had this fear, and she was afraid that if there was a new growth of tumor in her brain, which was not, there was no growth, but still, deoxygenation of brain can be definitively be proven fatal. So I go back to the part where I said that Augustus reveals something about himself to Hazel. So what he reveals to her has a very, very sad impact in the end of the novel, which is I don't want to say because it is very, very, or I should say, which is extremely heartbreaking. So I would just conclude by saying one line, that this book is a very heart-touching novel, but at the same time has lots of good humor. So if you liked this review of mine, please like, share, comment, and most importantly, please do subscribe my channel.